Hello and welcome to the Weber channel. I'm Jason, your host. Now this is a difficult video to do with my brain's trying to put it into a way. I talked about in a couple of videos ago how just because you're autistic doesn't mean you have an excuse to be nasty or to be rude. Now there is lots of different mental issues. The reason I only talk about ADHD, bipolar, type 2 and autism is because that's what I have. And even within that, I always state out that these are my experiences and that someone else with those same labels could be completely different and probably will be, because we are all unique. But as disabled people, we always hope for people who don't know about what we're facing to understand us, to accept our quirks, to try to at least acknowledge who we are. And yes, a lot of mental challenges can cause you to have outbursts. But I believe that no matter how extreme your situation, you yourself can try to make it better in some way. You yourself can fight against your nature in some way. It's exhausting. If you want a understanding from an able-bodied person, you've got to try to understand it from their point of view as well. You can't just say, oh, I'm autistic, I can do this. It doesn't work that way. And it isolates us all more. And there is a very small minority of disabled people who use their disability as an excuse, that make themselves out to be a victim of every situation, who don't want to improve, who don't want to become a better version of themselves. I am not saying that those people should go work and all this kind of crap. No, this is more about personal development, about creating. Every single disabled person I know subconsciously and consciously creates coping strategies. It's how we survive, leveraging different sides of our brain, figuring out what we can do, figuring out our limits. But those are improvements. Those are you taking control. Those are you trying your best. It doesn't mean you'll ever be able to go to work. It doesn't mean you'll ever be able to leave the house for some people. But you are making changes and helping yourself. One thing we need to acknowledge is that every single disabled person, whatever your disability, before some expert, before some therapist, before some paid person comes along and tries to help you or hinder you, you were surviving by yourself. It was becoming too much for you, you needed help, you didn't understand all the situation that you were facing and so on and so forth, but you took the first steps. You made those things, and people should acknowledge that. My favourite mental health person who had 40 years experience in bipolar and autism and so on was the one that asked me, what are you doing to stay alive? He asked me what my coping strategies I had already in place, and he wanted to build on those. So when I see people using their disability as an excuse, I will point it out. This is no different no different, and this is going to be shocking, no different than those very minority of coloured people who use the fact that they're coloured as an excuse to be shitty to everybody else. They develop such a chip on their shoulder that, yes, we acknowledge you've had a fucking shit life, and a lot of things will happen to you because of that. But they take it beyond that. They take it beyond the norm. They take it to the point where they use it as an excuse for anything they do. Anytime they're shitty to anybody. And we see that in the disabled space as well. Most people I've ever met when it comes to disabilities, whatever they are fucking amazing. They are heroes. They fight every day. They challenge themselves. They do the best they can because they, no matter how bad their problems are, whether physical or mental or both, they actually punch above their weight limit. They force themselves to do more than you expect. It's crazy. And so, when I say that just because you've got you're autistic or whatever else, doesn't mean you get free rein to be a shitty person. Like I said, if you want able-bodied people to give you a fair chance to get past all this crap that we deal with, you have to remember that sometimes that we've also got to realise what it's like from their point of view. And any disabled person who basically sits there and says, I can do this because I'm disabled, or any bullshit to do with that, you are hurting every disabled person with your attitude. Like I said though, most disabled people I've ever met fight against their limits, push the limits, go beyond what people think they can do, take on more than they can do, cause themselves problems. It's very rare to meet the ones that basically use this, I'm disabled, I'm a victim, I can get away with anything, and you can't say anything about me because I'm autistic, because that's discrimination. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're blind, paraplegic, bipolar, autistic, or any number of other illnesses. If you are being a shitty person to someone, if you're using those illnesses and those like a hammer to beat on people and to excuse the shittiness of your attitude towards them, another human being, then I will call you out for you. I am not bullying. I am not having a go at you. I am just pointing out a fact. Remember, I am classed as severely disabled. I have all the excuses I want. If I wanted to be shitty to the world, I could be. The way my wife died, there's been so many times in my life that things that have happened to me, all my mum's money being stolen away. I have, and the problems I face personally, the fact that 7 days after my wife died with cancer, I was diagnosed with cancer as well. It's like, fuck you, universe. I have every excuse to be a shitty person to everyone around me. I have the perfect excuses to be a complete and total bastard. But I don't. I prefer to try to help. I prefer to try to let people know that don't waste what you've got. I know the shitty stuff. I know how bad it can be. Please realise what you have. Realise and appreciate it every day, because you have no fucking idea how long it'll last. Take care of yourself, everybody. Remember, we choose. We make choices. We choose what we put back into the world, positive or negative. We choose who we hurt. I tell you what, making someone smile instead, making another sentient human being have a slightly better day, to me that's priceless. Anybody can destroy, anybody can take that kind of path. No. I will always let people know how I'm feeling, whether I'm having a good or bad day, and that I'll never lie in that. But I will always make sure I try to put a little bit more positive in the world, no matter how shitty it gets. That's what my wife taught me. Bye bye for now.